Welcome back students to the new session of chapter 6 life processes. Till now we studied nutrition, digestion and respiration, and you know now that during the process of respiration, in breathing, during inhalation, oxygen is inhaled and carbon dioxide is exhaled by us, and this oxygen is used for cellular respiration, that is for obtaining energy. So, for this oxygen has to be supplied to all the parts of the body from lungs, and the carbon dioxide produced during cellular respiration has to be brought back to lungs for the process of exhalation, and this is done by the system in our body which is called circulatory system. This system not only transports oxygen but it also transports digested food, water and other waste substances. So, let us study now circulatory system. So, circulation is the process of transport of substances and it is done by circulatory system in human body. So, in humans, digested food, water and oxygen are transported to all the parts of the body. Waste products are also transported from all the parts of the body to be removed from the body, and the transport of substances in the body is done by circulatory system, and this system consists of heart, blood vessels and blood. So, students, now we are going to study very important part of circulatory system, that is blood vessels. First of all, what are blood vessels? In simple language, if we say, blood vessels are the parts that carry blood. For example, in our house pipes are there. What these pipes are doing? They carry water from one place to another place. Similarly, in our body we can say that blood vessels are the system of pipes that carry blood. Now you understood, when a cut is there in our body, blood oozes out. Why it oozes out? Because a pipe, that is a blood vessel, is damaged. So now let us see the types of blood vessels. Blood vessels are of three types: arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries are wide and thick vessels and they carry pure blood. Now what is the meaning of pure blood? Pure blood means the blood that is rich in oxygen. It carries blood from heart to tissues. What are tissues? They are the group of cells. And why they carry blood to these tissues? Because for the process of respiration, that is for obtaining energy. We have studied internal respiration in cell. These arteries do not have valves, but blood flows under pressure in them. Arteries are deeply seated. Next is veins. Veins are thin walled with valves and they carry impure blood. What is the meaning of impure blood? Impure blood means deoxygenated blood or blood carrying carbon dioxide. They carry blood from tissues to heart. Blood flows slowly in them and they are superficial, means they are located close to skin. Now capillaries. Arteries divide repeatedly to form very thin walled vessels called capillaries. Exchange of materials between the blood and the cell take place across this thin wall, that is capillaries, and this capillaries join to form veins. So we can say that capillaries are the exchange sites where exchange of materials take place. So, arteries carry oxygenated blood, veins carry deoxygenated blood and capillaries perform the function of exchange of materials. So, now students, I hope it is clear to you what are blood vessels. This diagram will help you to understand artery, vein and capillaries and how they are connected. If you will observe your hand clearly, you will be able to see veins in your hand. Why? Because they are located close to skin, so you can easily observe them, but you can't observe arteries. Why? Because they are deeply seated. Right? I hope this much is clear to you now. So students, let us see the difference between arteries and veins. Arteries are thick walled, veins are thin walled. Arteries have no valves, veins have valves. Arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery, and veins carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. You can also include one another point, that is artery carry blood away from the heart to various organs and veins carry blood from various organs to heart. We studied blood vessels. Now we are going to study very important part of circulatory system as well as very important part of human body, that is heart. It is a muscular organ. It works as a pump in circulatory system, and it is located in the middle of the chest and tilts towards the left. It is as big as our fist. As both carbon dioxide and oxygen are transported by the blood, the heart is four-chambered in order to prevent mixing of oxygen-rich blood with carbon dioxide-rich blood. You can see all the four chambers in the diagram very clearly. The upper two chambers are called atria, singular form is atrium, and the lower two chambers are called ventricles. Walls of atria are thin while the walls of ventricles are thick. All the four chambers are separated from each other by the partitions called septa. For the flow of blood from left atrium to left ventricle, there is a bicuspid valve, and similarly there is tricuspid valve between right atrium and right ventricle. These valves prevent the backward flow of blood from ventricles to atria. So, this is the structure of heart. Question can be asked, explain the structure of heart in detail with diagram. So, you have to write all these points and you have to draw the diagram. Students, this is the simplest way you can draw the human heart. Just draw like this and label the different parts of human heart. Keep in mind, if you are just drawing the diagram and if you are not labeling it, you will not get any mark. When you are drawing the diagram, you have to label it also. Practice to draw the human heart like this and then label it. So students, let us see the structure of heart point-wise. A heart is a muscular organ. It works as a pump in circulatory system. It is located in the middle of the chest and tilts towards the left. Heart is made up of cardiac muscles. There are four chambers in the heart. The two upper chambers called atria are thin-walled and two lower chambers called ventricles are thick-walled. Right and left side of the heart is separated by septum. Between the atria and ventricles, there is an aperture which remains closed by the valves. Valves prevent the backward flow of blood. Oxygenated blood is separated from deoxygenated blood to allow an efficient supply of oxygen to the body for higher energy needs, as in birds and mammals. Amphibians and reptiles have three-chambered heart. Oxygenated and deoxygenated blood are not completely separated because body temperature varies with the environment. Fishes have two-chambered heart. As blood is oxygenated in the gills, heart pumps the blood once only. So, this was the structure of heart. Now we are going to study very important process, that is circulation of blood through heart. Here I have tried to explain it in a simple way with the help of the flowchart given over here. Here the red lines represents the flow of oxygenated blood and blue lines represent the flow of deoxygenated blood. Heart is not shown over here. Instead of that, four chambers of heart are mentioned so that you can understand this process very easily. So let us start now. We know that oxygenated blood is there in the lungs. From there, the oxygenated blood enters through left atrium, and this is done by pulmonary vein. Now you will say that the veins carry deoxygenated blood, right? Yes. Veins carry deoxygenated blood, but this pulmonary vein is the exception. It is the only vein that carries oxygenated blood. Now from left atrium it goes to left ventricle and it is done by bicuspid valve. What is the function of this valve? This valve prevents the backward flow of blood to left atrium. From left ventricle it is transported to all the parts of the body through the largest blood vessel, or you can say largest artery, that is aorta. So this way from the lungs oxygenated blood enters to the parts of the body. Now in different parts of the body cellular respiration will take place and carbon dioxide produced during this respiration is transported to the lungs. Now let us see how this transportation takes place. The deoxygenated blood from all the parts of the body is transported to right atrium through superior and inferior vena cava, means veins. from the right atrium, it is transported to right ventricle through tricuspid valve. The function of this valve is to prevent the backward flow of blood. Now, from the right ventricle, it is transported to lungs through pulmonary artery. Again, arteries carry oxygenated blood, but this pulmonary artery is the exception. It carries deoxygenated blood, and this way carbon dioxide rich blood, or you can say deoxygenated blood, enters to lungs, and by the process of exhalation during breathing, it comes out from the body. And this was the process of circulation of blood in heart. Now students, if it is asked in the examination, you can write it in your own words along with this flow chart, or else I will give you the points how to write it in the next slide. You can make your notes as you find it easy and simple to understand and write. Now let us see the notes. Working of heart. The cardiac cycle consists of one heartbeat, that is one cycle of contraction and relaxation of cardiac muscles. Superior and inferior vena cava pour deoxygenated blood into right atrium, that is from different parts of the body. With the help of vena cava, blood reaches to right atrium. When right atrium is full of blood, it contracts. The valve opens under pressure and blood is forced to right ventricle. Then the right ventricle contracts and blood is pumped into pulmonary artery. It carries blood to lungs for diffusion and exchange of gases. The oxygenated blood returns to the heart by pulmonary vein in the left atrium. When the left auricle contracts, the blood moves into the left ventricle by the opening of the valve. On the contraction of left ventricle, the blood is pumped into the largest artery, that is aorta, and it is carried to all the parts of the body. So here first they have shown the flow of deoxygenated blood, and then they have shown the flow of oxygenated blood. Now double circulation in men. Because the blood passes through the heart twice in one complete cycle of the blood, it is called double circulation. This ensures complete segregation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Next is pacemaker. The sinoatrial node is a small mass of specialized muscle cells in the heart found in the walls of right atrium near the opening of the vena cava. This tissue initiates and maintains the heartbeat. When it fails to function, an electronic device, pacemaker, is implanted into the chest of the patient to maintain the heartbeat. So what is a pacemaker? It is a device that helps in maintaining the heartbeat, and naturally the sinoatrial node maintains the heartbeat. But when it fails to function, pacemaker is used. ECG, echocardiography, you have already studied in 9th standard, right? What is echocardiograph? It's a graphical representation of electrical changes during the heartbeat. Instrument for recording ECG is called echocardiograph. The recordings are made from the electrodes fastened over the heart and arms and the legs, and gives information about rate and rhythm of heart. So this is the explanation about ECG. I hope now students it is very clear to you how transportation of blood, that is circulation of blood, takes place through heart. It is very important topic, many times asked in the examination. So pair it well and draw the diagram of the heart many times so that you can draw it easily if it is asked in the examination. That's all for this lecture. We'll continue with other topics in the next lecture.